Minutes ago, I was looking at the clock and thinking, I just don't have it in me. But I've got to ask you, if you're in pain, are you willing to plan intentionally? The reason I ask is because in, this is the end of the second week where my pain has been elevated, and I was thinking through doing some planning, and I'm feeling the weight, the pressure of an elevated pain journey last week and this week, and I'm really feeling the weight of it. And I looked at the clock and thought, I don't have it in me to go live. And then these words stood out. Am I willing to plan intentionally? Am I, and we can actually look at it in those three parts: willingness, plan or planning, and intentional. Three words that are part of a journey with pain, part of a journey of resilience, and the answers that you and I might have, and they may change. Are you willing to plan intentionally? And I ask myself, am I willing to plan intentionally? I've experienced time and time again that when I look honestly at that question and come up with honest answers, which can change from moment to moment, day to day, situation to situation, I find that there's this honesty and there's an opening that happens by exploring the three parts of this question. Are you willing to plan intentionally? Hi, I'm Rick Cram, and welcome. This is Plan to Be Your Best Live. I go live almost every Friday at 12 noon to create a positive and encouraging conversation. And in fact, that's why I really showed up today, because I knew by talking about the weight that I'm feeling in a way that is positive and encouraging for you, that it would lift me up as well. My purpose is to equip people in pain to plan to be their best, use the Plan to Be Your Best framework to identify and find new ways of strengthening their unique resilience, your unique resilience, to the point where you get to a wholeness, a place where you're feeling so whole and strengthened, encouraged, and even uniquely equipped because of your own journey with pain, your journey with resilience, and your journey with discovering what it looks like to plan to be your best, so that you can multiply your resilience. You can take everything that you're experiencing and use it to actually encourage others, perhaps even equip others, and to even invite them to join you on your journey and share the journey of strengthening each other's resilience in a positive and encouraging way. I knew that by going live today that I would actually feel a fresh sense of energy that would help do a number of things regarding the pressure and the pain that I'm experiencing. Number one, it would immediately distract me, and distractions are good. It would also encourage me. It would also mean that in this conversation about resilience, about what it looks like to being willing to plan intentionally, that I would focus on my resilience and experience my resilience. And indeed, as soon as I made the decision, oh, I'm going to go live, I got to talk to you. I know some of you are hurting, and I see you. I don't know exactly what you're experiencing because your unique experience with pain is only yours to know. You can and you should tell others about it and express all that you're experiencing: the physical journey, the mental journey, the emotional, the spiritual journey. Expressing it is part of a way of both releasing what is heavy, making room for and filling that void that gap, if you will, that you just created. By releasing it, you've got goodness to put in its place, and let that help carry you forward, even if it's for moment by moment. After the seventh surgery on my left knee, and in the course of these years, more than 6 years now, where I experienced dozens of blasts of pain, over 20 different pain sensations over the course of some weeks, every day, and working on the Plan to Be Your Best book, working on even elevating and improving the Plan to Be Your Best approach to help you and for me to find my unique way, help you find your unique way of growing your resilience, growing your sense of confidence in your resilience as well. It's a way to actually not just survive, but even find your own way to thrive, whatever you're dealing with. If you're here, and I invite you to join me as we move forward with this, I'm going to use the 3 steps of resilience to tune in, plan, and be your best. Those 3 steps of resilience have a fantastic way of taking back what pain takes away from us. It saps our energy, hijacks our focus, and frustrates our hope. Let me rephrase that. Pain has a powerful and potent way of hijacking our focus, sapping our energy, and frustrating our hope. So part of the journey of resilience is to again and again win back your focus and create new positive energy from moving forward. And that's what this is all about, here and now, in this moment. I believe that if you follow me with the next several minutes, the next several steps, the 3 steps of resilience, you will experience a compelling now to create a moment now that helps you move forward. Hopefully, and I'm going to check to see if it's there, that in the YouTube description below is a link to the 3 steps of resilience worksheet. It is free. You'll be able to download it immediately. It should be there. And just as that is there for you and will remain there for you to use, download it, use it on your devices. It's a PDF that's fillable. You can print it out, use it multiple times and in multiple ways to actually go through this with me. And to that point, I am here for you. If you have a question or you'd like to chat at all, I've now opened up the public chat. So if you've got something to share, if you've got a question, I'll encourage you and I'll answer your questions. If there's something about the Plan to Be Your Best way, let me know. If you're having a tough time, and that's why I'm here. I've been having a tough time, and maybe you are as well. If you are, I see you, and I'm here for you. I'm a holder of hope for you as we begin now with these 3 steps of resilience. To answer that question, are you willing to plan intentionally? Let's take a look at, as we tune in, using that first step of resilience, let's look at that very first question. Are you willing? Have you ever known, and I certainly know what it's like to feel as though I'm not willing to do anything. I'm so overwhelmed with the pressure, distractions, the worry, the upset, the discouragement that I am stuck. That is part of not just a journey with pain, whatever the pressure might be. It is part of the journey of resilience. It's almost as if to say that if you're stuck, that's where if you're stuck, that's where your resilience begins. Like acknowledging that it's a normal human response to something that can be profoundly difficult. Whether it's intense physical pain, such as I experienced since the 7th surgery on my left knee, and now over 50 years of knowing pain since the first injury and the first 3 surgeries back when I was a teenager, or if you're carrying excessive stress, or perhaps it's not so much a physical pain, but it's the mental journey that you're on, the emotional journey, even the spiritual journey. It can hurt badly, and when the pain is overwhelming, whatever it might be, willingness can become a very sensitive topic. Willingness might sound like, I just can't do that right now. And perhaps one of the most resilient things that any of us can do when we don't have it in us is to extend some grace to ourselves. It's okay. We can revisit this. But I wanted to revisit it now because I was unwilling just about half an hour ago, thinking, I don't have it in me to go live with you right now. But here here I am, I'm doing it, and I am thriving in this moment. You're here, perhaps also feeling overwhelmed, carrying God knows what, and yet you're here. You are willing, even if it's to just try, even if it's just to exercise some curiosity. And in fact, that's one way that a resilient thought, a resilient emotion, a resilient step forward or a step up is where it begins. That you're already exercising and showing a willingness, even even if it's just to try. And in fact, that might be the best lesson for this moment right now. That a willingness doesn't have to be a major commitment. In fact, it might be best to just try one little step. I had a test after the seventh surgery where I went to the hospital and had an injection in the knee and numerous x-rays to see if there was an infection in the prosthesis, in the implants. And I was personally begging inside that there would be, because then I knew that there could be something that could actually be done to perhaps hopefully take me out of my daily misery. And I was pining for, when I went to see the doctor, that the test results would be positive. But regarding one small step at a time, being willing, after I had the injection in the knee and the x-rays, it took me about 20 minutes to walk 200 yards to get back to my car. Each step was a blast of agony. And I was thinking in the course of trying to get out, holding back the tears, leaning up against the walls of the hospital, taking a break from after each step. But I got to a point after a moment or two, and this is why it took 20 minutes to go about 200 yards. I needed to drum up inside of me a willingness to take one more step. And so I invite you to just take one step. When it comes to tuning in about being willing, go ahead and honestly ask yourself. And if you've got the free download, the 3 Steps of Resilience worksheet, what is holding you back from being willing? What might you be thinking? It might be simply, I just don't have it in me, or I can't do this. I know what that's like. And it hurts to actually think that and say that. It might be, I don't know if I can because I'm not sure it will work. That's very honest. That's very human. That's very normal. And I understand that. I've experienced that too. There can be fears keeping us from being willing. There can be simply a historical pattern of thought of saying, I'm stuck. It's almost as if I get unstuck, I don't know what that will be like. I know what it's like to be stuck, so I'll just stay here. Our brains are actually hardwired to work that way. It's part of what makes it so challenging to go from I'm not willing to maybe I'm willing and let me give it a try. If you didn't see it, the previous Friday when I was on with Nikki Mollett, she had this fantastic story about a way a teacher was showing these elementary school kids doing something new, and he had them go from them agreeing, okay, I don't know how to do this new thing yet, but I'm going to be a Yeti. I'm going to approach it as if, not yet, but I'm a Yeti. I'm going to see what it's like. He had this wonderful term, to be a Yeti, to illustrate how to go from I'm not willing, but I'm a Yeti at willingness. Nikki, thank you so much for that wonderful story, a real life example of what it means to reframe the way you're thinking and approaching something very, very challenging, something maybe brand new. And being willing to plan intentionally might be very new for you. I've found, and I've actually spent much of the morning, let me confine it specifically to the past hour, doing what I've done after each and every powerfully difficult moment in this journey, especially since the last surgery. The daily pain is so overwhelming. Sometimes to extent, there's a couple months last fall when I felt as though I could tell in real time it was taking time off my life. But I ended up like I did when I went to see my orthopedic surgeon to learn that there was not only no infection, but he had he had exhausted the possibilities. And to hear him say, "I'm sorry, I wish there was something I could do to help," I felt a low like I've never experienced before. I felt a low like I've never experienced before. When he said, "I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do," here's the person I had the most hope in terms of finding some kind of relief from the daily agony. So my spirits, my emotions, my whole constitution sank to a new low. And yet, I came home, and the very first thing, because I've practiced this for many years, that opening up my plan document and exercising a willingness to plan very intentionally was going to be the one thing that in this overwhelming time of seeming as if everything was out of control, beyond my control, that it would be an exercise in turning that around. And indeed it did. And if you'd like a copy, a template of what my plan document looks like, you can use it, fill in the blanks where that you'll find in the template everything from goals, objectives, even questioning what is my commitment level to this plan? And that's a powerful question. Have you ever asked yourself, what is my level of commitment to being resilient, to making it through this moment, making it through this phase that you might be going through this time or this winter season? Is your commitment 100%? There's something to be said for declaring, even saying it out loud, I am fully committed to this because I'm worth it. And you are worth it. You're worth 110% of your commitment. You are worth 100% of my commitment to helping you plan to be your best as you navigate whatever the pressure point may be, whatever the pressure points may be. They can be numerous. They can be powerfully overwhelming, whatever the pain might be. My commitment is 100% for you, beginning with I'm here to help hold the pain for you if the hope is too heavy for you to carry right now. I found a way, after 50 years of navigating extraordinary pain, that there is a way. My way is not necessarily going to be yours, and yours isn't necessarily going to look at all like mine. Your resilience is unique. It's uniquely you. And that's one of the reasons why I am a holder of hope for you, because of that resilience in you. The more you get to know it, the more you encourage it. And let me encourage you as well. And let me show you how others in your life, family, friends, colleagues even, how they can play a positive role in your journey, in your resilience. So it's that commitment to that, and there are several other key questions when it comes to creating a plan. Let's tune into that. We've taken a look at the question about willingness. Now let's tune in to the plan, willingness to plan intentionally. What does planning look like? It looks like anything you want it to, whatever kind of planner you might be. But what if we just simply broke it down into two things? One, look at your options. What do you have control over? You have control over your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. And that's the best place to begin. And it might very well be all that we need and all that you need. Planning doesn't have to be writing out a document, whether it's half a page or even a few notes. It could be simply a series of thoughts, thinking about what your options are, and then choosing one to move forward with. Some people think about planning and think, well, gee, I've If I'm going to plan, I need to do it in certain ways. I've got my own style, and indeed, your own style is all that you need. You might be the kind of person to say, I can't do it alone, or I prefer to do it alone. I want to create my own silent moment when I will do my own planning in my own way. That is your way. That is your best way. That is you being your best. So I'm not here at all to suggest this is the way to plan. I will tell you, if you're a leader or if you're a member of a team, planning is one of my specialties. My corporate life, my business life, I've got decades of experience of working with organizations ranging from hospitals, HMOs, consulting companies, juice companies, a Fortune 1000 company to small businesses across the country, showing and helping them elevate how they plan, how they make decisions. It's especially for leadership and for teams that really are synchronized and working together. So elevating the way you plan for leaders, for teams, especially for those of you who really want to galvanize your relationships and your working relationships, the way you work as a team. Elevating how you plan to make decisions is actually both powerful, fun when done right, and there's a powerful source of energy that comes from it. There's something to be said for direction. When you know your direction and you're certain of it, then the next steps to go in that direction changes dramatically. And there's a freedom in knowing what direction you're going in. There is energy that comes from it. There's clarity in terms of everything from how to work together or how to work individually when you know the direction you're going in. So whatever planning looks like to you, what if you actually think of it as not so much a matter of planning, but a matter of seeking discoveries? So much of Plan to Be Your Best is a series of using the 3 steps of resilience and one other part of the framework to find that there are discoveries after discoveries after discoveries that create that direction that we're looking for, that sparks new energy. By taking these steps, you've already won back that focus that pain has taken away. When you think about discovering something, what happens? When you have an aha moment, when you've got a moment that says, I've got some energy, I feel strongly about this, that is a powerful step forward. That's a powerful flexing of your muscle called resilience. The 8 paths of intentionality and using the 3 steps of resilience through each of the 8 paths of intentionality is what creates those discoveries upon discoveries. And out of that, there's growth. There is a strengthening. There's a way to reclaim a moment when pain had that moment. This is my moment. I think about yesterday I had lunch with a good buddy of mine. And I probably over the course of the meal had 5 or 6 intense blasts like that. But we had this fantastic conversation about what it means to create a compelling now. A compelling now is something to help get through a moment, just like I did. To stay focused on what I'm doing. He's fantastic to talk to. He's very intelligent, very thoughtful. Often, and we were sharing some notes on this, the questions being asked are really wonderfully challenging. And I love that because there's more growth that comes out of talking through a challenging question, thinking through, sharing with each other ideas, perspectives, and giving a try to something new that might lead to a discovery. And this is one of the reasons why I love to have conversations about resilience, because resilience grows through conversation. Who do you have to talk to? I'm here for you. If you'd like to have even a free conversation, let's let's have a conversation about being willing to plan intentionally. That word intentionally keeps coming up, and is why I use the words, the 8 paths of intentionality, because when we look at a journey of pain and a journey of resilience, that the level of pain must be matched by the level of intentionality. So, how do we become intentional? You find the ways you need to become intentional as you go through each of the 8 paths of intentionality. I want to just check this one comment and see if it's a question. And I'll actually, that's an excellent thought. The idea about reframing. One of the ways to be intentional, if the level of pain must be matched by the level of, if the level of pain must be matched by the level of intentionality, another way to put it more specifically, the level of pain must be matched by the level of reframing, the degree of reframing. Just as I had that blast of pain, I was intentional about reframing my moment. That was a compelling moment to keep talking to you and not let that pain or this pain get me down, and keep my focus on you. You and I are creating a compelling moment right now. I'll experience the pain, but I am compelled to stay focused on you. If you're in pain right now, what are you compelled to do? And let's apply that using that question about willingness to plan intentionally. What are you compelled to do? If you think about your options, and again, planning is simply thinking of what do you have control over? And what will you choose? Is there one compelling option? Something that you think, something that you feel, something that you might do. It could be a fresh thought, a fresh emotion, a fresh choice to simply wear and put on and wear that coat of gratitude, an attitude of gratitude. What are you grateful for? Focus on that, and focus so much where you feel it, what you're thankful for. Picture it. What are you thankful for? Who are you thankful for? Be so compelled to focus your gratitude that it's a whole person experience. You're immersed in it. And do you find that's when you truly feel the gratitude? And there's nothing else occupying your mind. That's compelling. What is it that you're compelled to do? Is it a reframing? Is it something to express? Have you ever expressed something and you thought, this means so much to me, and it elevates me, it lifts me up to think this particular thought, to say, I made it through yesterday. It was really, really tough. I was down. I had tears in my eyes. I was in the pit. But today I'm feeling better. Do you know why? And to say, I did that. I am going to congratulate myself and say, I can do this. I did it yesterday. I'm here today. I'm here right now. I'm having a compelling now. I am going to honor this. I'm going to honor myself. Honor yourself. Give yourself a lot of grace. You do have resilience in you. And I know there are times of exhaustion. I know that. And I experience that almost daily and several times a week, where blast after blast after blast, it gets to me. But I have this pattern. I have this pattern of even right now, that one was tough. But I have a confidence. I feel so much when I am in pain. And sometimes it really stays with me. But I also think a lot. It's very much a heady experience for me. And I'm very intentional about choosing my thoughts without fighting. If hopefully I'll have it out in the next few days. There's a video I want you to watch that is all about trading the fight for flow. Let me see if I can share this thought. Pain, if you've noticed, has a way of changing the way we receive messages, the way we hear things. Pain can change the way we hear things. And this video that you're going to see is something that may challenge you, and that's okay. I completely understand. It is something that reflects part of what I've learned through 50 years of pain, and the 7 surgeries and the daily pain that I have since the 7th one, that trading fight for flow has become part of what it means for me to be a lion of intentionality. The fight is something that I know all too well, but I also know how it exhausts my energy. So trading fight for flow is a way of reclaiming energy instead of burning it. What I share with you in this video that you'll see is not perfect, but it's where I go to when the mental storms and the emotional storms rise up. I hope you'll watch it. If you'd like to send me a note or an email through YouTube or through my website, and I'll send you a link when it comes out. I think you'll find it, perhaps depending upon where you are, and where you are matters. It might be challenging, but it might also, if you're willing to plan intentionally, it might give you something to think about, because it works for me. Imperfectly, but it does work. So here we are, we've gone through, we've talked about this question, are you willing to plan intentionally? We talked about willingness, the challenges with that, the way to break through even with one small step forward to try, just to see what might happen, with some curiosity, being willing to try. And then planning can be so simple as considering your options, then choosing one. And then with that intentionality, willingness to plan intentionally, have purpose to it. And the purpose is basically found in the third step of the 3 steps of resilience, to being your best. And each time you do that, each time you follow that willingness, take a moment to plan and make a choice and do it intentionally. And when you are your best, you act on it, you follow through. No matter what you experience, that's you being your best. And you'll find that your best is greater than the pain. I'm here for you. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you have found this to be an encouraging and positive time of reflecting on your resilience, everything that you're carrying. I often think about, just as I was saying earlier, I'm carrying a lot of weight from an extra painful couple of weeks. If I'm the one carrying it, I'm the one who can put it down. And there are ways to do that, even if it's temporary, because sometimes it feels as though, and we will choose to pick up that heavy pressure that we've been carrying, put it down for a while, but picking it up because it needs to be cared for. Sometimes in the carrying of the pain and pressure, there's a way to carry it, walk with it, care for it, where healing can take place. One last thought, one perspective. I believe being resilient in your own unique way, the way you find through the Plan to Be Your Best approach, that healing is part of the process, both in real time as well as in being so intentional that you can heal the past. You can look at in positive, healthy ways, caring for, learning from, growing from what was heavy, perhaps yesterday, last month, last year, 20 years ago. Healing is a part, I found a natural part of being resilient when I am being my best. There's no perfection in pain management, there's no perfection in resilience, there's no perfection in being my best. But in the doing of it, practicing it, there are those discoveries, discovering that your best is greater than the pain, and discover that healing does take place, does happen, sometimes even in real time. And sometimes that's when we need it most, to get through to the next moment. I hope you have a day full of compelling moments, celebrating your resilience. I'm Rick Cram. I'm here for you, a holder of hope for you, and wish you well. Thank you so much for being here.